Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Has everyone gotten their coffee already? Yeah. Maybe not yet. Everyone's still like a little bit tired, huh? Well, I want to welcome all of you to the 2013 New Now Next International Media Conference. I'm really excited that all of you are here. We have a record turnout for this whole entire weekend. All told, including panelists and all attendees here, we have more than 250 people. This is more than double what we had last year, so we're all very excited. First off, I want to introduce myself. My name is Ramy Inocencio. I'm the co-chair of this year's N3 conference, in addition to my other co-chair right here, Wendy Tang. If you could just stand up and give her a round. I myself am the head of the AAJA subchapter here in Hong Kong, the vice president, but we have a huge AAJ network and family across Asia, nearing about 200 people. Also, AAJ itself, if you don't know, has about 1,600 members across the United States, as well as here in Asia. It's the country's largest non-profit group advocating for diversity in workrooms across the country, in newsrooms across the country. A couple announcements before I do the introductions to our first folks. First off, if anyone is going to Workshop 1A this afternoon, you can go ahead and take a look at this just really quick. Pull out the schedule. You should have gotten this when you registered. If you take a look at Workshop 1A, we only have 15 spots for that, and that's with Toshi Maeda. So if you want to sign up, you have to sign up for that at the registration desk. Again, Wendy, I believe, should be there, so you can talk with her if you want that. Again, only 15 spots, so make sure you do that if you want to. In addition, we have a raffle going on, and you should have seen this online. A lot of gifts this year, a lot of raffle prizes this year. The biggest thing is Cathay Pacific tickets, round-trip tickets from Hong Kong to anywhere in Asia. And we have our AAJ member, Ellen Wong, over at Cathay Pacific. Where is she, if you could raise your hand? There she is. There's Ellen. Everyone, please say thank you with a round of applause to Ellen and Cathay Pacific for doing that kind sponsorship. You guys did it last year as well, so thank you again for that. In addition, we also have 4 smartphones to give away at the end of this conference. And we want to thank Richard Lai. Where's Richard? Richard, stand up. Richard Lai is chief editor of Engadget China, and so he helped score that. We also have cases of wine, an autographed book by AAJ member Cheryl Tan over in New York called Tiger in the Kitchen, as well as a DVD set from Koryo Tours about North Korea. Some really cool videos there, really cool movies. All right, without further ado, I'd like to introduce 2 very important people who, without them, none of this, AAJA and Hong Kong University, couldn't have happened here in Hong Kong and here in Asia. I'd like to introduce Ying Chan as well as Alan Chung to both come up. Ying Chan is, come on up, is director of Hong Kong University's Journalism School, Journalism and Media Studies Center, and she also helped found the Asia chapter. And Alan Chung, he is our Asia president based in Beijing, but comes back and forth between Beijing and Hong Kong too, so we see him a lot. He's also the China bureau chief for institutional investor, as well as Paul Chung. Come on up. He's also our AAJ national president based over in New York. So if I could have Ying give a couple first comments.
Welcome, everybody. It's great to see people here from not only from Hong Kong, but literally all over, from DC, from New York, and to see new friends and old acquaintances. And on behalf of Hong Kong University and the Journalism Media Studies Center, welcome everybody. And to say that it's a center is an understatement, I think, because we're a full-fledged department. We offer degrees at various levels. You'll meet our wonderful, hardworking students and staff here. It's a great honor to partner with AAJA, my favorite organization. I was there where yay, New Yorkers. Anyone from New York? Yay. I was a founding member of the New York chapter in the 80s, where we met in a loft on the west side. And so it was wonderful to work with AAJA here. So welcome again and enjoy the day.
Okay.
And Alan is also no friend.
Thank you for that, Ying. I just want to say that this is our 17th year as an Asia chapter. We were founded in 1996, and back at that time, it was a historic time. It was right before the Hong Kong return to Chinese rule, and a group of us, chief among them, Alan Ota, who was based in Tokyo at that time for the Oregonian, he and I brainstormed, and we thought we should put on an event to host other Asian American journalists who were coming out to cover the 97 handovers. So that's how we started this. And we put on this event at the Foreign Correspondents Club in Hong Kong. It was wildly successful, and it was sponsored by Ying and Hong Kong Youth as well back then, and the subchapter has gone from then on. We put on dozens of events across the region over the last 17 years, but none of them compared to the last 3 years. Under Raimi Inocencio's leadership, this is our third conference, and we can see from all of you, it's getting bigger and more successful, and I want to thank all of you for coming here, and for Paul, our national president, especially, for coming out and sharing us, giving his time and his leadership. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Yen. I just want to personally thank Hong Kong University for hosting this great event for the past 3 years, and also want to give a mention to the Wall Street Journal, who is one of the co-sponsor for an event later tonight. And the Asia chapter is the one that brings the big A to AAJA. And so I highly encourage, this is one of the major events that we do in AAJA, and we have more than 21 chapters across the US and in Asia, and we host many different events from social media training to mini conferences and to our national conference. So I highly encourage everyone to join AAJA as a member, and contrary to people's belief, you don't have to be Asian to be an AAJA member. Or American. You just have to believe in, or journalists. But you do have to believe in our mission, which is fair and accurate coverage for Asians and Asian Americans across the region, and also, to really help, diversity of voices within the newsroom. And diversity can mean a whole sorts of different things, from economic diversity to geographic diversity to ethnic diversity and racial diversity. So when you think about diversity, try to really think about it in the broadest sense. And I also want to thank the Asia chapter, especially Raimi and Wendy, for putting on this great event. And I'm expecting a bigger one in years to come.
Challenge accepted. That'll happen. All right, so a couple of things that I did forget before we go to our first panel. One thing from last night. Who was at the social at Pier 7 last night? You can see those are the ones with the dark circles under their eyes, right? Anyways, thank you all very much for coming. As you know, we did have a raffle for AAJA members, and the raffle prize for that was this, a Xiaomi phone, again sponsored by Xiaomi from over in China. And we do have a winner, and I see him bumping his fists up in the air. John Noonan, can you come on down? So John is an AAJA member and professor from Shantou University, coming over with Ching Ching, and I know you wanted to say a couple words as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you so much to AAJA, and I wanted to say a special hello and thank you to an old friend and great lady in Hong Kong, Dean Ying Chan from the JMSC. Ying invited me almost 10 years ago now to work at Shantou University, and it's been a wild, amazing ride. And Ying, we love you and we miss you, and we're desperately trying to keep the good work that you started there going under increasingly difficult circumstances. So I just wanted to say thank you so much. We appreciate you so much. And thank you for the phone.
Thanks, John. All right. Now, if you would like to win one of those phones, we still have 4 more. And in order to do that, you have to enter a raffle. Now, you don't have to be an AAJA member, but if you do, we would love you even more. So we have 4 people, at least 4 people, I think, floating around with raffle tickets. Who are those? And raise your hands. So we have Elaine Io right there, June Chang, Hannah Bay, and Yuriko Nagano, all 4 of them. They are selling raffle tickets, and this is the price breakdown. 1 ticket for 50 Hong Kong dollars, that's about 6 US. If you get 5 tickets, it's 200 Hong Kong, so it's a little bit cheaper. 10 tickets, 300, so it's a little bit cheaper there. You get where this is going, right? And then 20 tickets for 500 Hong Kong dollars. And again, the Cathay Pacific prize and the Xiaomi phones, they're worth much more their weight than in just what, $500 or so. So definitely meet and look for these people all around. I'll be making this announcement over and over and over again. So yeah, stay tuned. All right, so without further ado, I would like to have our first panel come on up. And as you guys come on up, I will do a couple introductions. This is our panel on China investigations. Oops. Cracking the Middle Kingdom. So if I could ask Christy, Ed, Neil, and Natasha to come on up. So if you've ever lived in China, you're definitely well acquainted with the term 没有办法. Sorry. There is an open Wi-Fi code. If you link up to Hong Kong Open Wi-Fi, it's free. Yeah, good question. So who here knows the term 没有办法? 没有办法. What does it mean? Just shout it out. 没有办法. Sorry, I don't speak Cantonese, but Mandarin. So 没有办法 means there's no way, right? There's no way that you can do something. And these folks who have operated in China and who still do operate in China know that you can still get around them because of their investigative reporting. So first off, I want to just do a couple quick introductions. Although we don't really need too much of an introduction for most of these folks. First off, Christy Liu Stout will be our moderator. She is an award-winning anchor and correspondent for CNN International, based right here in Hong Kong. She's the host of Newsstream, which you've probably seen once one of these weeknights. And she's also the anchor for a new monthly show on China, which just started, what, 2 months ago, I want to say? 1 month?
No, it started at the time with the Shibada, the 18 Party
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, the followers.
All right.
Time goes by quickly.
Yes. And then also we have Natasha Khan from Bloomberg. Natasha joined Bloomberg in 2011 as a reporter covering regional health and science. She was part of a team of Bloomberg News reporters that produced Revolution to Riches, an award-winning investigative series that uncovered the financial holdings of China's ruling class. We also have Neil Western coming from Bloomberg. However, Neil, we didn't get a picture from you. And there was an egg on your Twitter account, but I didn't want to put you as an egg. So I hope you don't mind. I don't have your picture. And then we also have Edward Wong from the New York Times coming down from Beijing. He's been in Beijing since 2008, where he's covered all things China. Before that, he was working for the Times for 13 years total. His first foreign assignment was in Baghdad, Iraq, where he covered the Iraq War. Edward first went to China in 1996, and I just have to give a shout out to a Virginia friend, because I'm also from Virginia, just like Ed, just from Northern Virginia. Yeah, same hometown, Alexandria, Virginia. Shout out there. And Hannah Bay is also from Northern Virginia. All right, so with that, I'm just going to hand it over. Christy, please.
All right, Raimi, thank you so much. Now, for the panelists, very nice meeting you this morning. To see the faces behind the bylines, I've admired your work for a while now. I think we need to switch on our microphones. I just switched mine on from off to on. We are fully on. Now, it has been an incredible year, both as journalists watching China, journalists inside China, and just as media junkies in general, looking at the investigative reports coming out of the country, especially in regards to the money trail, the alleged wealth stories that earned well-deserved prizes for both the New York Times and Bloomberg. Just quickly, a signpost of what's going to happen ahead in this conversation this morning. First, we're going to get into the nuts and bolts of investigative reporting in China, right? How do you dig up a story? How do you cultivate your sources, et cetera?